Hey everyone, back again with another video. This will be the last video that you see me looking like this, hopefully. I just wanted to get a few of them filmed while I had the time to. I live with other people now and it's really weird to sit and talk to myself in my room when they can all hear me from above and around me. So everyone else is away at the moment, it's just me, so I can get these videos done. But anyway, on with the video. I'm going to do the Booktube Newbie Tag, which I already filmed a long time ago in my old flat, and my phone deleted the footage and I was mad about it for ages, so I didn't want to redo it, so I'm redoing it now. So I've got my questions in front of me, and I'm just going to get on with it. Question number 1 of the Booktube Newbie Tag is, why did you start this channel? So I started this channel because I've been watching other people on Booktube for a little while now, a couple of years I'd say, and just have wanted to do it for over a year and just thought, why not, I'll just do it. What could go wrong other than make a fool of myself on the internet? But, you know, I'm sure I've already done that. Question 2 is, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? So every single newbie tag video that I've seen, people struggle to answer this question because it's quite a demanding question to ask of someone, especially when they're new. I don't know what fun and unique things I can bring to Booktube other than my own opinion, and I try to read like new books as well as older books, so there's a nice little mix in there. It's not always going to be the same as what everyone else is talking about, but some of them might be, because, you know, that's just how books work. Some are very popular. I'm hoping that the fun part comes like from my end, like I get to enjoy myself doing this, and yeah. What are you most excited about for this new channel? Probably like chatting to some like-minded people, talking about books, getting to know some new people online, watching myself grow with like how I'm doing this. Like at the moment this is not a great setup, I'm using a pile of books, but I intend to like learn how to edit and how to speak in front of a camera a bit better, because it's something I do struggle with. Yeah, so just want to like learn how to do video making, maybe learn how to speak as well, and like meet some cool people. Question number 4 is, why do you love reading? I love reading because, in the most cliche way possible, it's a nice way to escape from the mundane reality of life. I've always been a reader, just like at different times of my life, dipped in and out. But yeah, no, I love reading because I like the idea that somebody else can write some words down on a piece of dead tree and take me somewhere else. Like, I'm fascinated by the idea that like somebody else's brain came up with this and now I get to experience it with my own imagination. Films are great. Films give you a little bit too much, I think, and also you always envision that character as that actor. But yeah, I love reading just because I always have done, and it's a nice way to get away from everything else. Question number 5 is, what book or series got you into reading? And I think I have a few answers for this question. I remember reading things like Dr. Seuss and Roald Dahl, obviously his children's stuff, when I was a lot younger. I also read these books called the Sleepover Club books, and I would go into our Waterstones, which is tiny, but the Waterstones back home, I would go in there and I would run to that section and they'd have like a whole shelf of them, and I would just be like, which one haven't I read yet? And get a book, like not very often, I'd say like maybe like once every few months, because I used to reread quite a lot when I was a kid. But yeah, I loved those. They made it into a TV show, which came out a little bit too late for me, but my little sister watched it, but it wasn't as good. It was just, nah, not what I wanted. But anyway, those books, I love them. I don't actually own any of them anymore, unfortunately. I think when I was a teenager, I was just like, these are lame, and like chucked them out. Don't ever do that. If you ever feel like you've grown out of your books, just like put them in a box somewhere in the back of your wardrobe and just leave them alone, because you'll probably want them when you're older. Also, Harry Potter, like most people. I read Harry Potter from like not when the first book came out, but my sister did, and then I started reading them maybe a couple of years after that. I don't know, but I specifically remember going to the bookshop like at midnight to get the later ones when I was actually allowed to go that late. Yeah, I think that's about it. And also one more book, because I stopped reading quite a lot when I was in like secondary school, because I think, I thought it wasn't very cool, and also I was very stressed out about being a teenager. And then I got like a really boring job, so lost my spark a little bit. But I read Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, and I class it as one of my favourite ever books, and I need to reread it to see if it stands up to the test of time. I'm kind of scared to, because I love it so much. But it really like sparked something in me to make me like love reading again. So that's an important one to note. I was a lot older then. I think I was probably about 19. So the next question is question 6. What question would you ask your favourite booktubers? Probably just like, can we chat about books? Can we be friends? Can we do some buddy reads? Can you tell me how to be better at this? Or like, at least tell me how long it's going to take, because this is still awkward. The only reason I can talk today is because there's nobody else in the house. I don't know. I just like don't have much to ask people other than like, can we have like conversation? Can we chat? And I'm not going to individually name them because that would just be weird. But yeah, I don't know. Question number 7 is, what challenges do you think would be hardest to overcome? So I've already spoken about this one a few times. I'm not very confident talking to a camera by myself, and I'm not very confident in general putting myself out there online. So that's one thing that I need to overcome. And also, I'm not very like tech savvy when it comes to editing videos or making things look pretty. Is what you get with me. I'm literally sitting here filming it. Probably going to cut like maybe like 2 seconds out of a video and then post it. So yeah, editing skills would be nice to achieve and overcome the fact that I'm not very good at them, and build my confidence up a little bit in general, not just on camera but just in general. The next question is question number 8. When did you start reading? So kind of already covered this one, but I started reading for as long as I can remember. I remember being at school, and when everyone else was forced to read and take home a book, I remember actually enjoying it, and I enjoyed reading aloud to my parents and my teachers and whoever would listen to me read. And I used to read books to my little brother when we were younger, and my little sister, and my dad used to read to me when I was even younger than that. Always have been reading. I did stop reading for a little bit when I was in secondary school, as already mentioned. Then I got back into it. Then I stopped reading a bit again when I went to college, because I got a bit overwhelmed by how much work I was doing. This was college before I came to uni, so like about 3 years ago. And then I came back to uni, and I came to uni and I study English and publishing, and so reading and being into books is kind of a big part of my course. So now I'm a bit more like, I don't have more time to do it, I just make more time for it because it's related to what I'm doing anyway, and therefore it's an excuse to do it. I don't know. The next question is, where do you read? And I read here on this sofa, because I always want to read in bed. Like, I want to read in the morning and I want to read before I go to bed at night in bed, but it doesn't work that way. So sometimes I read on the bus. If I'm waiting for like an appointment at like the doctor's or something boring like that, I'll read. Like take a paperback with me everywhere I go, so I can get a little bit of reading in. When I'm travelling on the train, I'll definitely have a book with me, and I'll probably read for most of the journey, unless it's like a particularly crap journey, like I'm put in a really crap carriage that's really noisy, or I'm hungover. Yeah, that's where I read. I read here on the sofa. I read at my desk when it's to do with uni work, and I fall asleep holding books in bed and I don't actually get much reading done. Question number 10, the last question, is what kind of books do you like to read? I like to read more recently. I'll tell you why I like to read recently, because my reading tastes have changed over the years. I like to read classics, but I have to be in the right mood for them. I like to read contemporary fiction. I like to read literary fiction, but I have to be in the right mood for that as well. Like, I have to be awake and have had some decent sleep. I like to read... I mean, I'm not a massive fan of crime novels, but I'll read a crime novel. But I'm quite more into true crime than fictional crime, because I just find it interesting. I like to read magical realism. I thought I loved fantasy, and fantasy's alright, I enjoy it, but I'm not a big fan of high fantasy. I think magical realism is more of like the sort of thing that I like. I quite like historical fiction, but I haven't read much of it. Recently I've really got into some non-fiction. Doesn't mean I've read a lot of it, because it does take me a while to read, because when it's non-fiction I like to put more time and energy into what I'm reading. But yeah, I think a bit of everything. Not a massive fan of YA. I'm just going to be honest with you about that, just because I should probably give it more of a chance, but I find that a lot of it is coming of age, falling in love for the first time stories, which don't interest me because that part of my life has already been and gone. So yeah, that's all the questions for the Booktube Newbie Tag, and I'm not going to tag anyone because I think it's one of those that you just decide to do if you're new. Yeah, if you have anything that you would like to say in the comments down below, please feel free to. I'd love to chat to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.